Nancy, I guess we should start at the beginning, and you must be, I imagine you're tremendously disappointed by the inspection, but surprised?
I am disappointed. I'm disappointed for the staff and the patients and relatives, because obviously we serve the people, and we are a people's hospital. Remember, we're the largest employer. We are the central point of Harlow, and we serve patients and families of Harlow and Essex. We've worked really hard over the last 4 years to improve quality, and the CQC were really clear with us. Your quality is good, your clinical outcomes are good, but your processes need improving. And that is really disappointing, because we have done so much to improve safety and quality and infection control here, and we didn't sell it enough. We weren't able to demonstrate it. Am I surprised about the emergency department? Well, this is not just a hospital issue, Michael. This is a health and social care issue. This is across an economy. It's not just the acute trust. You've seen how many services in social care have been cut. You can see how many of our Essex and Hertfordshire care homes have been under duress from standards. We have patients that we know are medically ready to go home. They may not be ever fit, but they've been optimised. But social care and community care are struggling to find the placements for them, and they spend time with us. But of course that leaves a backlog. And at any one time, Michael, there are at least 50 patients in this organisation that really have to be in a different facility, but our health and social care partners are struggling also. So this is how we should all be coming together to solve this issue. Because if there's a backlog there, that means the patients in the ambulances cannot get into the hospital. And that's what is not safe. And try as we might, and our emergency department gives incredible care. For every one complaint in this organisation, there are 9 compliments. Considering the 300 plus patients who attend the emergency department every single day, we have a phenomenal number of patients and relatives who thank us for the care and dedication from the clinicians. So I'm really proud of that. What I'm disappointed in and fearful is that the general public will be scared to come here, but actually it's important to remember we have a very good safety record here.
You have a very good safety record, as you said, but how are you therefore going to convince public to come here? As opposed to just saying, we'll look after mum and dad at home, or look after such and such at home, or whatever. It's
a good question, Michael. Remember, for the last 3 years we've been in the top of the country for infection control. We have very few infections in this hospital, and that is actually an accolade to be really proud of. We have very few serious incidents, but we are high reporters of incidents, showing we have a very strong safety culture, and the CQC commented how open our staff are. And that's important if you think about some of the issues nationally where there has been a closed approach to safety. The staff have delivered time and time again courteous, respectful, compassionate care, and that was commented on. And having been through many types of inspections, it is quite unusual to have so many individuals commended highly by inspectors. And I had ward managers, matrons, doctors, allied health professionals being highly commended by the Care Quality Commission throughout the report. And to me, that is the focus of Harlow. That's what we do at Princess Alexandra Hospital. We give great care. And given that the staffing nationally and locally is so difficult across many professions, they still give as much as they can for the patients. And also, we're seen to go the extra mile. And that hasn't changed from last year.
I'm getting the feeling with staffing, as much as you try, as much as you might reach out across the globe for staffing, you get the feeling you're never going to solve that. And if you don't solve that, you feel like a football team that might have 7 Lionel Messis, they're never, even 5 or 6, they're still never going to be a full complement, the full complement being the challenge of ill health. I mean, are you ever going to be fully staffed?
I don't think the NHS ever has been. Historically, rather unusually, we found some very old records back from 1971, and there was a comment in this beautifully handwritten book recently about focus on the agency spend and the number of nursing posts vacant at Princess Alexandra Hospital, you will know that every chief medical officer and chief nurse and chief exec in the country is focused on filling substantive posts. We don't want to use temporary staff. The right staffing is to have the right workforce that is your substantive, focused workforce that live your values. That's what we want. And yes, you're right, internationally it is a struggle to bring staff members in, but I can report that it is definitely improved since last year, but it's going to take time. Will I ever be at 100% complement? I get asked by our trust board that all the time. I don't think that's possible, given that it's actually so easy for our staff to move into central London, slightly cheaper rents here, not very cheap I might add, but cheaper than further in. Obviously inner London supplement and outer London supplement is something that is given to hospitals further into London. So it does make it really difficult for where Harlow is on the wrong side of the M25. We're not alone in that, other hospitals suffer the same. But I think what we are developing is a development strategy for our staff that will actually, is not just a job here, it's a career for life. We've got rotational programmes, we've asked for more money for nursing, midwifery and allied health professional masters and doctorates and skills programmes. So I think if we can get that type of support from our stakeholders, staff will want to stay. What's interesting is staff always come back to Harlow. When they've been away to perhaps larger teaching hospitals, we always find they come home to Harlow.
Where's the buck stop? Because I think if you were a school, I think the head teacher would go and the chair of governors would go, or indeed a football team manager might go. But does it stop here or does it stop down the hall?
I think what's different, what has to be different in the NHS is that you can't just keep moving people round and think that's the right approach. Where trusts, NHS trusts, have performed the best is when there's a stable board and a stable executive team. We are the most stable executive team this hospital has seen in 15 years. We have
what's that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
That means that none of us have been moved on, none of us are interims, that actually in 2 years we have actually stabilised the organisation so that we're not having interim posts coming and going. Whereas life at Princess Alexandra, bearing in mind I'm the second longest standing board member of 4 years next month, that just demonstrates the turnover. So I've already seen 5 chief finance officers and 3 chief execs. And if I ask members of staff in this organisation who've been here for 20 and 30 years, of which we have a huge number, they could probably double and triple that. That is not how you get improvement. Improvement is about stability. It is about trust, and it's about being left to get on with the improvement we need to make. What we've managed to do in 2 years is engage our stakeholders, get that trust and confidence, and now we've got the best working relationship I've ever seen with commissioners, with the Mental Health Trust and Community Trust. That's how you get change.
Do you get an opportunity to speak plainly to politicians? Jeremy Hunt has come here. Robert Halfon, when his quote to us, is very much talking about consultants, the money you spend on consultants. But do you get an opportunity to say to them about their approach, or indeed Theresa May's possible approach to funding? Is there an opportunity, or do you have to be incredibly diplomatic?
Well, Jeremy Hunt was here last year and we were really open. We got him right into the trenches. We took him into theatres. He actually asked me, what do you need? I was really clear about what I needed to improve the vacancy factor for nursing, develop the staff, develop the workforce. Actually, he's a very down-to-earth gentleman. Robert Halfon is one of our greatest supporters. He is really open that for many years we've been fighting for capital. This hospital is falling down because nobody has been investing in it, and we're working really hard, one, to get the right amount of capital to improve this organisation for staff and patients, but to keep it standing for another 60 years, we not only need an investment now of 150 million, but we also need to be on the new build list, and Robert Halfon and Jeremy Hunt are listening to that.
Where are we on the chat with the new build list? Because I was at Harlow Council Cabinet meeting the other week, and that's on film as well. And I had a feeling one of the councillors, Tony Durkin, who is in the profession, he asked a question about the new build, and the way that the leader of the council answered it, John Klempner, I just wondered, is there negotiations, is there secret talks about a new building? Are we moving to North Weald next month? Or?
I think that might just be sensational journalism. We do need to look at sites. We're in prime real estate in the centre of town. What we do need to do is look at the right site for the type of build we're going to need in the future. We're already integrated here on site with community colleagues, so from SEPT, social care colleagues from Essex and Hertfordshire, and educational colleagues, because actually that's how you build up an integrated, focused approach to patient care. So actually, the future is a campus approach. A hospital cannot function on its own anymore, and it needs to be a working interrelationship with health and social care and education. That's the future, not secret talks. We're being really clear, this place won't be standing in 10 years, so we've got to have very open talks with the ministers and all of our supporters. But nothing is definite, because you know as well as I do, these things take years. But I think we are fighting. The chief exec is working extremely hard to try and get us right up to the top of the priority list.
Does the chief exec walk the A&E wards, as he said, or
He
is that
does.
I just wonder if that was just chat?
No, he really does, and he does it with me. He does it on his own. He is very personable, and being clinical by trade. And he's been a chief operating officer, and he's worked in laboratories, so he's a clinician. He actually can talk the talk as well as walk the walk. He's got a wonderful approach with staff, and he really does listen. He's probably one of the few chief execs I've ever seen that actually truly listens, responds, and acts to staff.
Where do we go from here? When are they going to be back?
Oh, I should think in about 6 to 12 months, and it will be a very different view, I am absolutely sure. If you think when I came here, we wouldn't have got outstanding for maternity, and here we are, we're probably the second maternity unit in the country to receive an outstanding. We have very low mortality rates. We have exceptional women's experience. That is possible to translate across many other services. And if you think we got a good for caring all the way across, which shows the level of commitment of our staff to our patients.
So what's the atmosphere like here at the moment? You know, obviously you've had a lot of interest, press interest, you're going to wait here today, but what's morale like?
You can imagine it does feel like a kick in the teeth. When you are working so hard to give the best care you can amidst really adverse situations around staffing, very complex patients. It is a tough job, and actually not to be told that your rating is inadequate. Staff have taken that personally. However, having done all of the briefings, and we're continuing those every single day, so we support every single member of staff, and they know exactly how we have to get out of this and improve. And all of the staff are giving us pledges around improving quality individually through services and teams, also supporting financial pledges, because we can't let those things, and operational pledges, that they are all just as important, because operational targets are about access for patients. They're not just a target. And the staff have come through with so many ideas. We're looking at 500-600 ideas already. So I think what we're now seeing is moving from that initial shock for many staff to we're on the beaches of Harlow, and we are going to deliver that improvement.